Hello, welcome back to Oolykee Gaming, welcome back to another episode of Workers and Resources. So at Republic Mode Monday today we have a go-kart track, we have old buildings and Latin American shops. Right, it's a rich Monday. It's a lot of mods released, well, a lot of quality mods released, a little bit more than usual, and I'm really happy to present these to you. Now, for more details, you have all the lists and links in the description of the video. Train End Station by Rob074. Train End Station, based on a real building in Łódź, Poland, also includes a metro version. There's a description in Polish as well. So these are the two buildings. On the right hand side you can see the metro version and you have the normal version. I actually don't know what the difference is. The metro versions seem to be a little bit bigger, but no, I think it's just the description of it or where you can find it or which trains they can accommodate. Anyway, so they can be found in your railroad section under the depots, and all the way in the end you can see here the metro one, 20,000 rubles and 20,019 rubles. Compared to vanilla, of course, they are way more expensive, so quite realistic, as Robs usually does it. Link in the description of the video. Bubbly 00 and Go-kart racetrack. This is a go-kart racetrack as a tourist and culture attraction. Employs 2 workers and can have 10 visitors at max. Boosts tourist culture and sports ratings. Wow, okay, so this is a really nice thing that we have. It looks really beautiful, I have to say. It looks quite realistic. You can see how all the bends have the tires there as, you know, so you don't die. Well, at least prevent you from dying a little bit. You don't hit the concrete. Anyway, beautiful building. We can see the similar buildings that we have. We have Carousel Autodrome, that would be similar building to this. I believe this Autodrome is it's way smaller. I'm gonna assume it's cheaper as well, 3,500 rubles. And this one is 2,000 rubles. Okay, this is a little bit cheaper. I would say, yeah, but it accommodates way less people, and also this is an open field. So yeah, I would assume that it would be cheaper, and it's quite realistic because it accommodates much less people than usual, and of course it's really beautiful building. Anyway, more details, link in the description of the video. So, what's with the towers? Let's go ahead and discuss the towers. Mr. Novu and Amaco Building. The Amaco Building is a 346-meter tall skyscraper located in Chicago, Illinois. Originally opened in 1973, it features 83 floors, 50 elevators, and 3,400 square meters of usable office space. Can be used either as a city hall or residential building for 3,500 workers. This is interesting. First of all, you can see here 3,500 workers that can live here, and this is a city hall with 1,500 people working in there, so it's like a worker sink. So your people can work. Right, first of all, I'm surprised the description is not in the freedom units, but still, I prefer meters myself. Anyway, really beautiful building. It has a lot of nice details. Now, it's a mid to late game building, 1973, it was constructed, and I'm pretty sure a lot of features were installed later on. Maybe. Of course, like I said, it's really beautiful building, high in details. You can see even angled windows and these ornaments or building facade. Really beautiful. What about the price tag, I hear you ask? Let's go with the biggest one. Let's see if I can find it. Unfortunately, Oolykee has too many mods and we can't really compare it to anything, but we're gonna go with Dnipro Flats. This is the biggest vanilla building. It's DLC but vanilla building that costs 155,000 rubles. It's way smaller than this, so size wise this is really, I would say, comparable in price, because it's more than 6 times as large as Dnipro Flats, and yeah, the bigger building is, you have diminishing returns on how much space is usable in there. So let's see the actual mod, the price of it, 370,000. Okay, it's only 1.5 times of Dnipro Flats. I could say that it should be a little bit more expensive because it's so absolutely ginormous. I would say that it's on a cheap side, but take that as you wish. Anyway, for more details, you have a link in the description of the video. Oolykee Monolith and CCCP 60 let. Let's go if I pronounce that correctly. СССР 60 let, 60 years of the USSR. Russian description is a monument. It has loyalty 8. Really? Radius 300. What's a loyalty 8? 8%? That's a lot. Oh, it sings. Yeah, really cool. I actually quite like it. Really beautiful monument. It has a really high loyalty rate. It's 8%, plus it has a 300-meter radius, which is also quite decent. So if we go to the mod section, let's see how much it costs. 300 rubles to build. It's not really that big of a structure. I think the price is fair for what it represents, but how much I think the loyalty is quite high. But still, it's a 60-year, big anniversary. So maybe link in the description of the video. Robes 074 and residential buildings from the 50s, part 3. There are previous 2 parts, I think they were released earlier. This is a residential building from the 50s, houses 25 to 40 workers based on a real building in Lublin, Poland. Quality of flats 80%. What do I think about 80%? I think it's decent. I think it's okay. This is Rob's building. We don't even have to compare it to vanilla ones. Now, all of them can be connected to each other, so you can form a nice little corner neighborhood, corner building. So if you go to the mod section, you can see these. They can be rotated and put in a perfect location. Of course, they can be placed perfectly next to each other. Let's try it this way. Not really that perfect, but you catch my drift. This is gonna be a little bit angled, but you can do a better job than me. So you can build a little bit bigger building. Now 4,700 rubles for this building, and then we have a corner part. 40. This is 25 workers each. This one has 40. Does it really have that much more living space? Not really, but yeah. Anyway. Price-wise, I think it's realistic. Let's see, and if we can find something, 33 workers, 4,000 rubles. Rob says is of course more expensive than that, or in the same price range, and it houses much less people. So definitely realistic. Yeah, I can't even find anything that cheap, that was small in vanilla ones. So definitely realistic mode as usually how Robs makes it. Link in the description of the video. Residential buildings from the 1950s or from the 50s, part 4 by Robs 074. Residential building from the 50s, houses 30 workers based on a real building in Lublin, Poland. Quality of flats 80%. This is quite similar to the previous one. I think they are a little bit bigger. You can see them here. It has at least 1 floor extra. So they are a little bit bigger buildings. 30, 30 and 30. All of them house 30 people, which is I think quite realistic. There's 3 buildings. Oh, by the way, both of these mods, they have different skins, so you can change the color of the buildings as you see fit. So whatever tickles your fancy. In this case, this building shouldn't be a corner one. Well, technically it is a corner, but we can build it a little bit differently. So if we go for the middle part, if I ever find the middle part, and we rotate it in this direction, we can actually place them really close together. Unfortunately, you probably should place the terrain, level the terrain first before placing this building, just so you can place it a little bit more accurately than I can here. But definitely you can put them really close together so they look like a one longer building, if you wish. Let's see how I did here. Not too shabby, better than the last time. But anyway, what about the price of the buildings? We checked the vanilla ones. This is 6,000 rubles. That's way more than similar building that you get from vanilla game. Link in description of the video. Vandeco and the Latin American small shops #1, plus also there's skins version to this that I subscribe to. So this is most housing projects in the world are designed with some citizen services in mind, and Latin America is no exception, was no exception. Here I present 4 small shops to provide goods for your citizens based on a typical neighborhood tienda / venda. you will find the following: one tiny grocery store, food plus meat, one tiny hardware shop, clothes and electronics, and 2 markets providing grocery and hardware. So I'm gonna assume that the bigger ones are markets, the smaller one here is for food and for meat, and then you have the clothing and electronics, the other small one, and these bigger one, mercados or markets, are for the boat. You can see here they're really beautiful building. They quite look like Latin, what I would assume was Latin American. Plus, they don't have collisions. This is why I placed them here, so you know. They do have deeper foundations, so they're not gonna be flying in the air, but still urge you, if you can, place them on a flatter ground so they wouldn't stick out of ground like this. Anyway, the price of the shops would be 811,000 rubles and 13,000 rubles for the bigger one, and if we compare them to vanilla ones, they're more expensive. This is this grocery shop. Yeah, they're definitely comparable price-wise, so definitely not a cheaty mode. Link in the description of the video. Muperd and BNK Autonomous Economic Area. A new railway has been constructed through the Nikonova region. A significant oil and coal reserves were discovered during the survey. On the opposite side of the Pole Channel is the country of the West Birkenhead. They have leased part of the land, so we can. They have leased part of their land, so we can extract the valuable ores in their mountains. Okay, so this is the map that we have. It's actually quite interesting. We're gonna check out the map straight away. It's a big map divided in 2 parts. It's quite large. You can see here that there is some infrastructure. We're gonna check it out straight away. On the east side, you have the gravel road zigzagging through the mountains. I think it looks really nice. That's good. You have connections to the NATO border, and then on the Soviet side there is a little bit more infrastructure. As you can see here, there is some gravel roads, and here we go, railroad is over here, so you even have a rail connection to this border crossing. Oh, I hate this border crossing, the big one. Right, so railroad, as you can see, branches off in the 2 areas, in 2 directions. This one unfortunately ends here, and then you have the longer part zigzagging through the countryside here. Let's see how far it goes. Oh, nice, we have even bridges over here across the roads, and then we have it going all the way to the... Is it going to the other border crossing? Wow, that's a long railroad. Another bigger railroad crossing that you can actually fix up and use. Definitely, I would put another railroad, another rail line lane in there. Definitely really beautiful design. I like when the map makers make their own version of you know, how they like things to be. That's really beautiful. Anyway, let's check out the resources. So we have coal. It's kind of plentiful on the north side, or iron ore is on the south side. So this is going to be a challenging part. If you want to create your own steel, you're going to have to do something about this big gap that you're going to have to either build a bridge or shipping across the channel. Oil-wise, it's all the way in the north, not close to the border crossing, but it can be easily exported by boats. Then you have uranium all the way in the south side, on the NATO side of the bay, and then you have bauxite as well on the south. So it's quite challenging how you're gonna cross the gap, cross these big bay from one side to the other if you want to utilize all the resources on the map. Anyway, I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to say thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, press the like button. If you didn't, leave a nasty comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, subscribe, notification bell, ring, and comment section, hit it. And if you want to support the channel, I have the description of the video. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one. Bye bye.